Hi,
Hey
hello.
Tommy, how you doing?
Hey, Marco, this is Tommy. Just want to ask though, do you want this call to be recorded and potentially uploaded to YouTube?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. How can I help you?
Tommy, my car crapped out. I got it brand new as a gift when I turned 18. 2014
Okay.
Mazda.
Okay.
The head gasket blew and water mixed with the oil, so now the engine's messed up.
Okay. And you went to a mechanic and they said what?
I can get you an 85,000 mile motor, a 35,000 mile transmission, all between 36 to $4,000.
36 to $4,000. And let me ask you a question. Did you go to more than one mechanic or you just went to one?
My car died in the middle of the road. Like I had to get this towed to my mechanic, and he does work for my family too. And I've been told to go to other mechanics, which I will because, definitely check out other prices and see if it's the same answer or no, there's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it still seems like it's going to be a big down payment. I mean, a big spend right off the lot for
Mm-hmm.
something that's not even brand new.
Okay.
But the
So,
technology behind the car is amazing. So either I'm going to buy a new engine or buy a new car.
okay. And who gave you
What
this
would
car?
you
Who
do?
who gifted it to you?
My family.
Your family? Your mom, dad?
Yeah.
Okay. And are they going to help you buy another car if you were to buy one? Or do you have cash for that?
I mean, I'm 24. I don't really feel like.
You're
I mean, right
24?
now it's all me. Yeah.
Oh, so you got that car at 18, but now you're 24.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been 6 years with that car.
7, technically. I got it in June, so it would have been about 7.
Okay,
No, I'm about
okay,
to be 25. I'm about to be 25, so definitely 7.
okay. So awesome. All right. So here's the thing. Do you have an emergency account?
Yeah.
How much do you have in there?
I have 5,000.
5,000. Now, here's the honest truth, Marco. Right? Cars breaking down are not emergencies. They're devaluing assets that are going to need maintenance. So it should be kind of like your job to say, okay, so I have this car, let me save some money on the side every week or every month. So if something does happen for maintenance, I have the money on the side. It's not really like an emergency. It's basically you should in some way expect something like this. Does that make sense? Although it caught you by accident. Does that make sense?
I mean, you should always have an emergency fund in case something bad happens.
Yeah, but bad is like unexpected. Like I just broke my leg, I got into an accident, my mom just passed away, but me
So this
telling you
does
like,
not
hey,
count.
yeah, it doesn't count. But it will have to count for this one time. But I'm telling you for future reference though, it should not count. Because you know for a fact, when you buy, it's kind of like having a company and having
Well,
machinery.
that's what I'm saying too, Tommy. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but like I see your videos and stuff, and like this car is not a work truck. I'm not using it for Uber. It's not
Mm-hmm,
making me
mm-hmm,
money. It's
mm-hmm,
fun to drive to get me places. But like Jeff
mm-hmm,
Bezos drove a Honda Accord, and it did the same exact thing for him. It wasn't the reason why he made Amazon, but it was just an expense and it was a tool. Like
mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to buy a brand new BMW M4 Series
That's not what I'm
just
saying.
to
That's not what I'm
flex.
saying at all. I'm not saying that at all.
Oh,
What I'm saying though is, by the way, I always recommend buying used cars, right? Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying though, when you are, for example, having a vehicle, new or old, right? There's a possibility that something's gonna happen to it and you need to have that money on the side, set aside, okay? That's what I'm saying. So the goal is, for example, if you know for a fact, hey, a car needs maintenance, I need to check it out maybe every 6 months or every 3 months and so on. The goal is to save money on the side so you can do that for that maintenance, have that account for that. So when a real emergency comes by that you can't really expect, you can have the money there for that. So right now, currently, right, if this car, what's the value of this car, by the way? What's the value? Do you know?
no.
Okay, so first step is you want to go on Kelly Blue Book and look up the car and look up its actual value, right? If the
But
value,
would they ask me if it's like if the engine's messed up so I can calculate that?
no, the I'm telling you that because basically, okay, let's say for example, this car is worth $5,000, right?
Yeah.
And if I fix it, it'll cost me $4,000. That means basically, should I actually fix this car, or should I just go ahead, for example, buy a $4,000 car and ride that through for another like 3 4 years and just keep working on my financial freedom? Does that make sense? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why I'm so glad you took the time to call me because I'm just what would you do, for sure.
Yeah, what I would probably do is if I have a car that fixing it is not worth the actual value. And by the way, there's also a possibility that it might happen again, it might break down again, right? So would I just Fix the car? The answer is probably no. Just buy a new car. Salvage that car if I can get something for it. And by the way, at least in New York, when you salvage a car, they give you like a tax credit, so that's a possibility also. But if they don't give you that, then I'll probably like get rid of the car, just buy a new car, and just make sure that starting today you save money on the side for real emergencies. Okay, so for example, if you have this car, set aside for example like $50 a month, right? By the end of the year, you'll have, for example, times 12, you'll have around $600 or whatever. Actually, set aside maybe like $20 a week for this car. Make sure you get this oil change. Make sure everything's good every 6 months. You got to take care of it. It's kind of like your body, right? If you have one body, one mind, one soul, if you don't take care of it and you lose it, you're done. It happens to be a car, and the car you can fix it, no problem, right? But the goal is take care of this car as if it's the only one you're ever going to get, and this won't happen to you again.
For sure.
But again, if you save up, for example, $20 a week for this car until you get to like a decent account for it, maybe like $2,000, just like on the side, just in case anything does happen ever again. It shouldn't though, because if you take it to regularly for its oil change, making sure you get it inspected, its maintenance corrected, it shouldn't happen again to you. But buying, for example, a used car now, if the value does, but again though, right? Now, if this car is worth, for example, $10,000 and it's 4K to fix it, right? I can fix it, right? And that'll be fine. But if it's just like, it doesn't make sense financially, then it doesn't make sense financially. And it might just be a better deal, for example, just go out there and buy just a new car and just get rid of that one.
Right. I'm going to take a look at Kelly Blue Book. It just, the thing that bothers me is just like everything on the car besides that is perfect, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, transmission is one of the craziest things that people, it's expensive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this time, Marco, the goal is, right, you have 5K in your emergency account. You'll have to maybe exhaust that for right now. Or if you can, just save up the money and just buy a car step by step if you don't want to use that money. But if you have to, you got to. And overall, if you start saving up, for example, $20 a week, at the end of the year, you have like $1,000. So in 2 years, you have like a full account for that car. You can take care of it did you check the car out every 6 months, every 3 months, or did you just like ride it and then boom, it just happened?
I felt good about it. I mean, if I could get an oil change, and oil was fine, but I don't go in like 3 months just cause. Yeah,
I mean, you can go. You don't have to do it maybe like every 6 months, like once a year or like twice a year. You know what I mean? Just check it out. It's like 30 minutes or an hour. You check it out, make sure everything's running fine. Because if it does break down, then you have another like 4K or 5K, right? That emergency money is just, for example, for hey, I broke a leg. I have a crazy like expense here. My mom just something crazy happened with my family. I needed help or whatever. But a car is like it's machinery, so it'll break down. Expect it to. Just have money on the side and have that money separate so you don't use it for anything else just but the car. Does that make sense?
I'm gonna keep you posted because it still seems like I gotta. It's like more information that I gotta act on.
Yeah.
Info so you could give me updated like about how much it's worth. I haven't bought a car, Tommy, so it sounds like a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I mean,
so you go to the
so when it
salesman, that's another thing I would have to talk to you about. So it's like, oh my god, do I even want to do that?
Have you ever bought an iPhone?
Yeah.
A used one?
No.
You always buy new?
Well, the iPhone I don't get it every year though. That's the thing.
Okay, so let me just tell you, right? If you're gonna buy a car, it's the same idea, right? You want to buy a decent car that's gonna be reliable, not too expensive. Maybe a Honda, maybe a Corolla, 2014 and above, 3 to 5 years old. That way you kind of like can take care of the depreciation, so you get a big discount on it. And when you're gonna buy, you look up the Kelly Blue Book value, right? When you find the value for the car, you pay an appropriate amount for it, and you make sure you get the car checked out and inspected, so you know for a fact, hey, this car is good. It's gonna run for a long time as long as I take care of it. But you want to shop around, and you also want to pay cash, so you don't go ahead and say, hey, I'm gonna finance this car. Not have this crazy interest rate, have this crazy payment. No, you pay cash for the car, you save up for it, and you buy a decent car. It's just about shopping around. You don't go to the first place like, okay, I'm gonna buy it here now. You shop around, learn this information is key with everything, right? So it's all about knowing. Once you look at your blueprints and you find out, hey, like this car is worth $5,000 used. Okay, you shop around. When you find a good price, a good vehicle, good mile, good range. And there's also research on YouTube, for example, like the best cars to buy, the most reliable. Corollas are usually pretty good. Hondas are usually pretty good. My first car is probably going to be a Toyota Corolla 2014 to 2017, right? It's the same process that I'm telling you to do.
Okay.
All right, does that make sense?
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, you shop around though. Just find out the Kelly Blue Book value. If it's worth a lot more than it is to fix, maybe just fix it. If it's not, maybe just sell it and just say or salvage it, and just basically cut your losses, and then just buy a used car. Once you buy the used car, save up money for emergencies. Check it out at least once a year or twice a year minimum, and that's the idea. That way, like, it'll keep running forever. But if you don't take care of it and just assume that it's gonna be running because it's running, you never know what's gonna happen. That's the goal. Treat it like how when you first got it. When you when you first get something, and you're like, you take care of it so much. Treat it like that always, and it'll run forever.
Thanks, Tommy.
All right, brother. You have any more questions?
I do not.
All right, awesome, Marco. Thanks again for the call. If you want to schedule another call, just let me know, okay?
Thanks, Tommy. You have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.
All right, peace out, bro. Have fun.
Thank you.
All right. All right, guys, so that right there was Marco. And usually people are very surprised when I tell them, hey, guess what? A car breaking down is not an emergency. You know why? Because basically, you should expect machinery to basically break all the time, right? It's kind of like me. I have a camera here. I have a mic here. I have lights everywhere. The answer is this stuff eventually at some point is going to break. I have to expect it, and I have to set money aside for that exactly. A real emergency is basically when something happens that it is impossible to expect. I broke my leg. I fell down a tree. Oh my gosh, what just happened to me? My cat scratched me, whatever it is, right? Like real unexpected things, okay? That's the core idea. My mom passed away, my dad, oh my God, what happened, right? Those are real things. When it comes to a car and car maintenance and, oh my gosh, I got a leak in the property, those are all things you should expect to happen because usually they do happen, right? But losing a job, unexpected. You breaking a leg, unexpected, right? Those are things you want to look out for. Now, he's probably going to have to go ahead, Marco. By the way, Marco is very smart, very intelligent. He's part of the Patreon squad, so he's awesome. But overall, the idea is it happens every now and then, and you're not supposed to know everything, but now you do, right? Now you know this part when it comes to emergencies. So the goal is, if the car is not worth that much, it's kind of like saying, like, hey, if this car is worth, for example, $4,000, it's $4,000 to fix. Do I fix it? The answer is no, right? Because you might as well just sell the car, buy a better car without that problem that won't probably happen again. Is take care of it a lot better. That's your. And by the way, you keep people always assume, and so do I sometimes. I fall victim to this all the time. Just because something is working, you can't assume it'll continue to work, especially with machinery. Things get very faulty, and that's why mechanics exist. Yes, it's expensive, but in reality, if you go like at least once a year, or maybe twice a year, like, hey, is everything okay here? Do I need to fix something? Are the bands okay? Are the brakes okay? Is the oil okay? Is the engine running correctly? Do you hear any noises here, right? Experts. That lets you know, hey, everything's fine, or something is not, and there's something you can do right now to prevent it by spending maybe a lot less money. But I remember also my grandfather, his transmission went out. It was like, I think it was like $3,000 to $5,000, and it was in a cure. And he had to go out there and basically fix it because the car obviously was worth a lot more than that, right? And that's the idea. Cars, machinery, bikes, motorcycles, houses, all these things, expect them to deteriorate and to also break down. That's the idea. Save money for those things. Maybe $20 a week, $50 a week, until you get, for example, a good amount, like $2,000, $3,000. That's good enough for like those kind of events that happen. But real emergencies is like, hey, I lost my job, something crazy happened. Because, for example, Murphy's Law, right? Murphy's Law says, hey, when something bad happens, something else bad might actually happen, right? Everything that can go wrong might go wrong. And imagine, for example, Marco says, well, my car just broke down, okay? And on top of that, Tommy, I just lost my car. I just lost my job, okay? What do you do now? And also, my mom got into an accident. What do I do now? You know what I'm saying? So it's all about saying, hey, I have money for emergencies, but for real things, right? For like the real stuff. But when it comes to this stuff right here, expecting stuff, just grab that money and save it. Guys, overall, that's it for this video. If you want to join me on my next call, link down below, make a schedule, and I'll call you from Monday to Friday. All calls are free. But if you want to join the Patreon, you can call me anytime, whenever you actually want to. I'll link down below to my Patreon also. If you want to check me out on my other channels, also links down below. I have a Tommy Bryson channel and also Tommy Bryson Show channel where I also post there every single day. So basically, I post 3 times a day. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, shit notified. And if you want to DM me, well, DM me on Instagram at Tommy Bryson. And before I go, as always, guys, thanks for watching and Peace.